All right, Sunday with Ola. Are you guys ready? I'm not ready. Hello everyone and welcome to Sunday with Face. No, don't say that. Welcome to Sunday with Ola 158. Hello. Dude, what? Hell, there's still a Sunday with Ola even though I was gone this whole week? I was in China. What? How is he able to record another Sunday with Ola from China? How did he bring all his equipment there? Well, it's because I pre-recorded this a little bit earlier than usual. You know, this past Sunday actually. So this is 1 week old. So if you feel that the news are old, you know, just remind yourself that, oh, Ola recorded this 1 week before, you know, and the news has been shit anyway. So, did I release a single? This is so long before, so I don't know. How do I know? I'll check. Yes, I am releasing a single. Ola. OlaEnglund.com, everyone. Shit, I'm so good with things. Let's turn these off. Those two cameras are my, beautiful guitar cameras. So when I sit and do they film up close, and you can see what I do when I play. Yes, I did release a single, Cripper Nosebleed. If you haven't noticed already, I'm working a little bit with the song titles. Incorporating some of my members into the song titles of the Chug project. Why? Let's just say that I have a terrible imagination. Anyways, we're closing in on October 25. That's when the Chug Project number 2 is released, everyone. I'm super excited. If you want to pre-order, you can pre-order from olaenglundshop.com. Okay? Thank you so much. Then news. Dave Mustaine, because why not? Dave Mustaine? Dave Mustaine, he always makes the news, man. Dave Mustaine. Well, Dave Mustaine isn't sure when Kiko Loureiro is coming back to Megadeth. I love him and I hope to get some good news from him soon. Okay, so I thought this was like a fixed time where Kiko needed to go back for like a month or two, and then, Teemu of Wintersun comes in and, helps out a little bit. But no, it seems that they have no idea. In a recent interview, Mustaine began by answering the interviewer's question about if Megadeth had plans to work with Marty Friedman again, and segued into Loureiro's absence from there. And Mustaine is saying, I don't know, it's a very interesting idea. Marty's a really talented person. I don't know for sure, but I think this is an area where I need to just talk with my partner and see how he feels about having another guitar player come up there and jam. So, okay, partner, he's talking about Kiko. Because sometimes guys get their feelings hurt, and I don't know that's possible between Kiko and Marty, because I think they both have a really high admiration of each other. I love Kiko, and I want him to get whatever he's going through worked out. Fortunately, he had mentioned the name of a guy, Teemu Mentasari. Teemu came out and he was prepared. Like I said, I don't know when Kiko is coming back. He won't be back for this run of the States. He's at home, he's soldering on, for lack of a better term, and working through whatever is he needs to get through. Yes. Out of respect for him, I didn't pry and ask what it exactly was, because it's really none of my business unless he tells me. But I think for any of the fans that are going to say, how's it going to sound? What's it going to be like? Don't worry, I picked good guitar players in the past. So, okay, I guess they have no idea why Kiko is going back home. But let's watch Teemu playing Tornado Souls. Potato quality, but sound is good, man. He's doing a good job, I hear it. Yeah. Such a killer solo, man. It sounds like he's been playing the solo since he was like a kid or something. Holy shit, he's so good. Vildhjarta, the band that everyone is falling about, have released a new single. It's called Ylva. Is this from a new album or something? Oh, they're singing in Swedish. Is this the first time they're singing in Swedish? I don't think so, but they usually call their songs by Swedish names. I didn't know they sang in Swedish. It's mixed by Buster Odeholm Audio. It's Gnarls Barkley, man. Holy shit, he came in and made it gnarly. I mean, Vildhjarta is really exceptional in there. They really found their own way in this whole, you know, fall kind of core and gent and whatever it was. They always went the weird direction. They really became their own selves in all this commotion with all bands and all that. So I have really high respect for Vildhjarta just carrying on like this. And the single is badass. I'm not sure if there's going to be an album or something. We just have to wait and see. Positive Grid Face just made its Spark amps gig ready. Meet the Spark Cab, the brand's flagship FR speaker. Full response, full range speaker. Hello. I think the point of this cabinet is that you're supposed to be able to use all of your different Spark amplifiers. So if you have a small little micro or a mini Spark Go or whatever they're called, you're supposed to be able to use that with this cabinet, which I think is very cool. So you have this cabinet standing at home and you play for it, and then you're like, I want to take the Spark on the go, because that's the name, Spark Go, and you go to the beach and like, hey, you don't bring the cabinet, that stays at home. So, you know, I think that's kind of cool. The Spark Cab is available to pre-order for $269, after which it will be $299. You know, I don't think that's too bad of a price, actually. And we're seeing more and more of these solutions where it's more, you know, guitar playing is becoming more and more like a stereo. Because that's basically what it is. It's like a hi-fi system with a full range speaker and to work with modelers, basically. I tried out the Fender Tonemaster cab, and that was probably the best full range, full response speaker I've tried in a good while. And, you know, I thoroughly enjoy playing through that, at least for my own pleasure, you know? I actually don't mind seeing more of this. It's not gonna replace a real 4x12 or a real amplifier or anything like that, but just having sitting at home, man. Hell yeah. I do think it's gonna take a while to make full range speakers like this something that would eventually, you know, replace a full stack like this or something. But still cool that they're pushing it a little bit. Huh? Meshuggah shares remastered version of Sane from 25th anniversary reissue of Chaosphere. So they're making a full-on complete remaster of the album Chaosphere, and this album holds a special place in my heart because, you know, even though I heard a lot of the albums before, like Destroy, Erase, and Prove and all that, you know, this was the album where I kind of really got into Meshuggah, and, you know, I was really digging that dual rectifier guitar tone on that album. They released a song, a remastered song. Let's listen. That's The Haunted. So I have the song up here on Spotify. Spotify, great platform. I want to listen to it. Okay, let's push play. They're playing The Haunted. Obviously, I like this The Haunted song. It's amazing. But as of right now, I kind of want to listen to the new Sane song, okay? Does it sound different than before? I'm not so sure, actually. Anyways, cool. I love Meshuggah. Let's go. All right, George Lynch. He's saying a bunch of things, and I think we should listen. And I'll explain why I'm bringing this up. In life, a pure socialist democracy doesn't really work. In an interview with Real Music with Gary Stuckey, former Dokken guitarist George Lynch addressed ex-Dokken bassist Jeff Pilson's recent comment that egos were the downfall of the band's classic lineup. Asked if he would agree. Oh, I wouldn't say egos, plural. No, listen. Everybody has an ego. Ego is a strange word. It can mean a lot of different ways. But yeah, without driving down that rabbit hole, I would say I think some of us had the best interest of everybody at heart, and some of us, or less than some of us, had the interest of just themselves at heart. So that was really a struggle. So basically he's talking about, hey, vad gör du? Vad gör du för något? Vill ha uppmärksamhet. That's what you want. Attention. Okay, I don't have a chair now, so I have to hold my eye, dog. Oh, Baxter, I love you. Oh, I love you, Baxter. Her name is Pix, by the way. That's a reference from a film. Which film? Let me know in the comment section. Anyways, he's talking about how you would eventually split up like revenue, or how you would... This is going so well. No, but basically, George is talking about how you would run a band. Like, you know, there's a lot of different ways to run a band. Either there's like some guy that's like a mastermind, or you split equal, for instance. Well, George says, my lesson from Dokken, and even before the Dokken days, was one for all for one. It was all about the democracy of rock and roll. We all work hard, we struggle together, we come up, we achieve something, and we all benefit equally. But I did learn a very hard lesson in post-Dokken years when I put together my band based on that philosophy and gave everybody equal share and equal power and equal money. And it was a failure. Just because people are not built equal and you do need somebody in control, you need somebody calling the shots. I just think the man-made hierarchy should mimic the natural hierarchy. In other words, let's say for an example, you have a bass player. Bass players, they play one or maybe two of the four strings on their bass, and they're not writing songs. And they're really not the motive force behind the band, let's say in some instances. I'm not saying all instances, but I'm just citing just a generic example. Could be a drummer, it could be a guitar player, it could be a singer, but he picked a bass player. So this person decides that because of their maybe lower position in the creative part and the earnings band part and all the other things and the attention part, that they feel that they need to overcompensate and they want to control everything, and they want to do this, and they force bad songs on you and bad decisions. And I think that's what Jeff is referring to when he's talking about ego. Ego is something else. To really get down into it, the most fundamental thing is trying to work with good people that you love and trust and that are honest as humans can be, and trusting each other just like a relationship, a marriage. And that's basically what it all boils down to. I've made this comparison myself a lot, that when you're in a band, you're basically in a relationship with 4 other people in the band. And it is really tough. Like, how can you have the same expectations when you're 4 to 5 people? I mean, someone's gonna want to do this more than the other. And some bands, they can do this. A really good example of this is Periphery, in my opinion. They seem, at least, that they're all bringing so much to the table on their different ends, and it seems like, you know, because of that, they can power on and, you know, become incredibly successful. While in some other bands, they're more like, okay, you have a guy that's basically controlling the whole band and the path that they're taking, and the guys are hired guns, basically. I think this is really interesting because if you're in a band where everyone shares everything equally, all these 4 relationships that you have to have with everyone has to work. Otherwise, it's gonna be chaos. In The Haunted, for instance, we do share everything equally. The workload might not be equal, but it's really good people that I trust and really good people that I love, genuinely. They're really awesome, and whenever we meet, we're having a great time. And it's just, you know, everyone is on equal terms, and that's just perfect. But that's not the case with all bands. And that's what George is saying right here. So what type of band are you? Are you in the band that want to be in an equal entity? Or are you in the band that has this guy that is kind of like taking control of everything? Let me know in the comment section. I think this is incredibly interesting. All right, let's end the news with these new Slayer limited edition statues coming from Knucklebonz. Okay, shit, yeah, it's like young Slayer. Look at this, except that Carrie doesn't have the hair. Oh, you know what? There's no drummer. There's no drummer. I mean, it's Jeff Hanneman, it's Tom Araya, it's Kerry King. Obvious choices, but where's the drummer? Who is the drummer? Who should be the drummer? I think that if they're doing this young style like this, it probably should be Dave Lombardo, right? And not Paul Bostaph. Why isn't Dave Lombardo in there? That's weird, man. As an official licensed product with Slayer, they dictate what lineup they want us to create. We don't have any creative license here. The band lineup is what the band says it is. That's always the final word. So there you go. Okay, it's Slayer. It's just basically Jeff Hanneman, Kerry King, and Tom Araya. No one else. Also, there's a new cute Eddie Van Halen 1978 Funko Pop. Oh, take a look. Oh, look at that. That's pretty badass, actually. How do I get one? $50. Easy. Easy. Let's go. View cart. Quantity. Final sale. Oh, shipping. Okay. Oh, $20. All right. No shipping to Sweden, I guess. God damn it. Always the short end of the stick with us Swedes. Anyways, guys, that was the news. So it's not very often that I try out studio monitors or studio speakers in general. It's definitely something that all producers and engineers out there are considering being one of the most important aspects of their mixing environment. A lot of people like to use headphones, but most people, they mix through monitors, just like these. You know, these are Neumann smaller monitors like that. In my main room over here, I have Dynaudio Lyd 8 that I'm extremely happy with. These are the Dynaudio Lyd 8s, and I use that coupled with a Yamaha subwoofer. So in this room, I'm extremely happy with my type of setup and the mix. And most importantly, I know what it sounds like. You know, I know the setup right here. I know how it's supposed to sound, which is, I guess, even more important than, you know, the actual monitor in that sense. I mean, you can use a computer speaker as long as you know exactly how they sound. You can make them fit you, and you know, you can make them the best monitor for you. But occasionally I do get contacted by other brands that want me to demo their speakers, and usually I'm just like, it's so tough to demo monitors and speakers, because what can I do? Should I just put a microphone into a speaker? No, that doesn't make any sense. It's not like a guitar speaker or anything like that. It's a monitor speaker that, you know. So some people at a brand called Eve Audio from Germany sent me an email and asked me if I wanted to try out their speakers. And just like with other speaker brands, I'm like, how can I make a demo? You know, people follow me for guitar playing. Just a small section of it is for people that sit at home and produce stuff. Like, it doesn't make any sense. They were just really convincing, and also I'm very bad at saying no. So they sent me these. What is that? SC3070 active studio loudspeaker. That doesn't tell me anything. But apparently, Glenn Fricker and Vildhjarta have done demos of these. So I guess it's like one of those brands that ship out speakers to influencers and YouTubers. And hopefully, you know, they will like it. So I'll bring these in. I'm going to install them right here. I'm going to try and replace these small speakers that I have here for a better listening situation. Then I'm going to basically just tell you what I think about it, I guess. And is it worth it? We'll just have to see. And then the camera falls over because Ola doesn't take care of his shit, basically. So there you go. Lift with your back. That's what they told me. They did obviously offer me to, you know, if you like these, you can keep them and make a good video. But that's not how I work, guys. You know, usually with demos, I send the stuff back just so, you know, I can be completely honest about the product that I test. I said, I don't do sponsored videos. And they said, well, okay, but at least maybe give them a try and you will love them. Don't touch the tweeter. Was there another box? What the hell? I don't understand. Is it a subwoofer? Why did they send me one? Dude, I feel stupid. Is it just one? What? No, this... What the hell? Did they seriously just send me one speaker? I mean, there's two on the frickin' manual. What the hell? Do they want me to listen in mono or something? But on the shipping note, it says 1 out of 1 piece. I can't even find the email now. Great! Ha! Yow! So apparently, there was another box. This is 2 days later, and the second box just appeared. So I'm not stupid, and it's not that these guys are stupid either. This makes me happy because I don't want to listen in mono. You know, I want to check in stereo. That's what it is. The painkiller is the painkiller. Meow. Let's go. Left. Yes. Okay. Is it No. These are too big, man. This is not gonna fit, so I was figuring I have these speaker stands since before when I had my old desk, that I will use those in some way in here. So let's try out that. I must say that these look pretty freaking cool on these stands, to be honest. So yeah, let's plug it in and let's listen to my favorite music, I guess. This is such a weird way of making a demo, but let's just do it, man. So apparently you can set these speakers up with different type of filters. You have a high filter, so if you have a dead room, you set that setting in and, you know, it raises the highs, basically. And then you have a mid filter, which gives a little bit, you know, of a mid... Oh, shit. Okay, there you go. Okay, I think now I have that monitor set and ready. So mids, 0, mid. There you go. Okay, so now that's the level right there. Okay, let me play a song of my people. Maybe something from the new Chug album. Sitting in the line of sight, like this. That's actually a lot of bass. I'm not using a subwoofer or anything right now. It's always good to listen to a reference that you've heard a lot. So, for instance, Pantera, you know, I've heard a lot throughout the years. I mean, this sounds really good where I'm listening right here, and, you know, very nice and even. Very nicely separated sounds. I think that in this position right here, I'm maybe a tad too close to the speakers. You should be like 1 meter to 3 meters away from the speakers, and at this range right here, I think it's like 1 meter. But, you know, just moving my head a slight bit will shift a little bit for my hearing. So these monitors are definitely better for, you know, if you have a little bit more of a distance. And if I move out here, for instance, and angle in towards my face, it will probably be really good. They sound pretty badass, to be honest. It's cool that you have these filters in there, you know, to accommodate your listening situation, your desk, and whatever, how you're gonna place your monitors and all that. But then again, almost all, you know, monitor speakers nowadays have some sort of, you know, filters and settings at the back where you can change to make it fit your setup and your environment. So yeah, this sounds good, man. At that level, that was sort of loud. I don't sit and mix with that loud of volume very often. It just like maybe check for 3 seconds just how, you know, the music reacts to the loud volumes of a speaker. At that level right there, I felt that, you know, I wanted a little bit more of a kind of sub feeling right there. So at that volume, I would probably prefer to also have a couple of these with a subwoofer. At this volume, it's pretty good, man. So there you go, that's the Eve Audio SC3070. I have to sit and mix with these for at least a couple of weeks before I can make a decision if I should keep them or not. But yeah, man, it sounds very promising. That's what I can do for you in terms of you know, studio monitor review right there. I can't really do much more. So there you go, that's a little adventures with Ola testing studio monitors. Dude, this album rips, by the way. Fucking dying fetus, man. Ha! Alright, so now I've been using the speakers for about a week, I would say, and I actually practiced my clinics on those speakers in the other room, and I'm starting to like him, man. I'm starting to like him. Will I switch out these, though? I'm not so sure. I have to try them out more, okay? Anyways, guys, that has to be it for Sunday with Ola 158. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tomorrow, there is actually a live stream of the SWOLA Contenders. It's back again. I'm back home as we're watching this right now. So that's a good... Hopefully I'm back home. I mean, unless the flight was canceled or something like that. Anyways, if you want to support what I'm doing, the Chug Project 2 is almost out now. You can go pre-order Ultimate Editions or Guitarist Edition. The Ultimate Edition contains a t-shirt, vinyl, guitar pick tin, t-shirt, vinyl, guitar pick tin, signed flyer, CD, tab book, patch. There's so much shit, man. And we're gonna start shipping them out soon as we get the vinyls, okay? Guys, thank you so much. I love you. I'll see you in the next video I have somewhere soon. Okay? Goodbye.